It's Winter, and thanks for joining me. So today we're gonna be doing just a little mock draft. Um, I know many of you might not know what it is, but it's a football season, and you know what? I thought I'd get in the spirit and work on my presentation skills. So try to try to be inform. I'll try to be informative, and yeah, thanks for joining me. I put this all together at the last second, and yeah, it's a little jank, so I like to call this the Jank mock draft. Very original. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be doing a draft online with real people, and I'm not sure how exactly to do the whole censoring stuff right now, and I'm not as tech savvy. So yeah, I'm just gonna be making little annotations here, marking a little W for when I draft right here for players. Let me start with saying what it is. So yeah, this is focused around the sport of football. In this case, the National Football League, the NFL. Those don't know, that sport is played by two teams, typically on 11 on each side. One team has the ball, the offense, and they'll lightly toss the ball to one of their players, who will throw the ball downfield, and they have to get a certain amount of yards downfield on a 100-yard field, and they have to reach 10 yards within 4 plays, or else the ball turns over, or the other team gets the ball. The other team at the time is trying to stop them from doing this is called the defense. And so the team will have like 4 plays to get 10 yards out of the 100. Typically, if they where they are, if they're at the other end of the field, they use that fourth play to try to. If they don't think they'll get 10 yards because the team just let me see. Let me. I'm trying to explain this. So, okay. Each team is composed of different athletic build people. Some are like some are, let's say, fast and athletic. Others are a little bit shorter and strong. Others are really big, and they like the offense that tries to block the offense has people that try to go down the field, and at the same time, they have big guys trying to protect the person throwing the ball or trying to open up a pathway for the ones running. And it's funny, the big guys on the offense are defending against the guys on the defensive side who are attacking the QB, the guy who throws the ball, the quarterback, and trying to get to the running back, who is typically positioned in the middle of the field. So yeah, it's a little ironic there. Anyways, if the offense doesn't think that they'll reach far enough within 10 yards, they'll what they do is that they'll actually just kick the ball down the field to the other team so that they can try from their end. This kick is called a punt, and they just lightly punt, just drop the ball and to their feet, and while it's still in the air, they just kick it to the other end, and the other team will receive the ball. Sorry, it's a little just crash course. Yeah, just a little reminder in case for everyone. I know a lot of you who are watching this in the first place will already know this stuff, but just in case. So anyways, the other team will also do the same. But if the other team, interesting enough, so the field is 100 yards, and if it's 50 yards, if they're normally if a team that has the ball, the offense is normally past the 50-yard mark and they're closer to the 40-yard, they'll try to actually, instead of punting the ball to the other team, they'll kick it from the ground. They'll set the ball. They'll they'll try to kick you like a soccer ball style, or like a basic, yeah. Well, they'll try to any of you seen the go? Sorry, I don't have the graphics now. My presentations and tech skills will get better along the way. But yeah, they'll kick the ball into this tune fork looking thing. It's it's pretty big. It's like 40 yards tall, 30. No, that's way too yard. That's way too long. 40 yards, like 120 feet. It's more like 60 feet. Is it? Yeah, 60 feet. Let's say 50 feet. So 15 yards, something like that. Anyway, so try to kick the ball, and if they can make it in it, they'll get 3 points. If they actually manage to get to the other end of the field, they'll get 6 points, and they'll get to kick the ball, try for another kick and get 1 point, or they'll get to try again really close to the end zone and give one end of the field and give one play to get the ball all the way at the end it's only 2 yards away for 2 extra points. It's a little risky, so they often don't go for that. So most teams just kick it from from the 33-yard line. But yeah, so that's all the types of scoring. There's kicking, and then of course the person who throws the football is called a quarterback. The person who catches the football is called a wide receiver, and the one who runs it is typically the running back. As you can see here, there's a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, kicker, and defense. Defense for this mock draft is about it's a point system based on how well these players do from the NFL. A tight end. Now this is an interesting position. It's like a hybrid position. They are a hybrid between the guys protecting the quarterback, also known as the offensive line, and a wide receiver, the ones who catch the ball. Now the wide receivers are typically like 6'1", 6 feet tall, or no 6'0" to 6'3", and ranging from let's say 180 to 210 pounds. There's some lighter ones, some smaller ones who are around 5'10". They're about 170 pounds, and these guys are speedsters. A lot of them specialize in running straight down the field, or like doing one, like a faking to the right or left, called a feint, or just a fake, and then going and just speeding across. These guys, famous guys like these are Ted Ginn Jr. What else? Right now, there's currently a player who's really known for going down the field. Not as famous as Ted Ginn Jr. used to be. This guy's named Rashid Shaheed. He's on the Saints from a team from New Orleans. But anyways, that's a little bit of the wide receivers. Tight ends are, they're like a hybrid. So they're a little bit stocky. 6'4" typically. It's about 6'4", 200 pounds. And they'll catch the ball. They're like the reliable person for the wide receiver. When a QB is being pressured by the offensive line, by the defensive line, the defensive line are the big guys on the defense trying to get to the quarterback or the running back. And many times the QB would check it down, which is like a saying for like just like going to your security blanket, someone who you know is going to be there like open. They often go to the tight end. Now the best ones are these three right here: Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, and George Kittle. Bowers for the Las Vegas Raiders, McBride for the Arizona Cardinals, and George Kittle for the San Francisco 49ers. Now these guys aren't just like reliable check down receivers. They are also, many of them are actually the number one target, more than the wide receivers on their team. And so the way this works in the scoring, typically, now most leagues have their own different stuff, but different ways of scoring. But most leagues have it for 6 points for a catching the ball, and at the other end of the field. So the end of the field is called the end zone, and that's typically about 10 yards wide. No, 10 yards. Let's say 10 yards long, and I forget the exact measurements of the football field, like how wide it is. I think it's like 120 yards. I can't remember. No, not 120 yards. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's 100 yards long, and I can't exactly remember how wide it is. Maybe it was 120 feet, when that would be like 40 yards. Give or take 40 yards wide. So 40 yards by 10 yards is the end zone, and that's the area that the wide receiver has to catch the ball, or the running back. The running back was often right behind the running, or the running back is often situated next to the QB, behind the offensive line, and the running back will try to go through an opening that the big guys make for him. And oftentimes, not often, but if the offensive line does their job well, then the running back goes through, and they will goes through the opening, and then they'll reach like a plenty more space down the field, sometimes into the end zone. And for all those who already know, I can just make a marker. I'm going to later on description where actual draft starts here. Okay, let's see. So for the way the scoring works, 6 points for a running back if they reach the end zone, for wide receivers if they catch the ball in the end zone, and then of course they get 1 yard or 0.1 points for every yard they go down the field. So let me see. Some leagues have a PPR, which is called points per reception, and that means it's 1 point for every catch that this person makes. So wide receivers are often favored in that league. Running backs, they'll mostly, of course, run the ball, but some of them are known for also having a little catching ability on the side. Ones that are famous for this: Christian McCaffrey, one of the highest scoring, but he's a boom or bust player because he'll have a lot of points one year, or he'll get injured. He'll either have like be the number one player in the NFL or not barely play any games. But he can catch it, as well as Bucky Irving, running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. McCaffrey plays for the 49ers right now. And then Saquon, Bijan, and Gibbs can also catch it. Saquon and Bijan a little bit more. Henry mostly runs it. But yeah, and Kamara. Kamara can also catch it. So that's just a little side facts right there. So yeah. And quarterback will normally get 4 points for throwing the ball, because obviously they'll get more touchdowns, so it's a little balancing for that. So 4 points for a touchdown, and only 25 yards for how much they throw the ball down the field, and a player runs that. So a player will get marked. Player can catch the ball and they keep running, and the quarterback gets all the points for the yards. As well as whoever catches the ball, either the running back or the wide receiver, to the part where they are finally tackled down. That's where the play ends. I forgot to mention. The play ends when the NFL team basically tackles a player, and one of their parts of main parts of the body, like let's say knee, elbow, shin is down. That's the end of the play. And of course they get the 4 downs to get a first down. 4 plays to get a first down. Okay, so yeah. And then kicking, the farther the way to kick it and make it more points, 3 to 5 points is typically the scoring. And defense, the lower the points they hold to the opposing team, the more points they get, as well as if they catch the ball, turnover. If they catch the ball, if the other team is throwing the ball and they actually catch instead of the offense's team, then the defense gets the ball, and they'll get points for that. It'll be 2 points for the defense. If they block the person kicking it, they block in midair, right when the ball is kicked, even though the offensive line is trying to do their best to block, and the defense still blocks it, then they'll get then the defense gets a point. And then they also get 2 points if they manage to tackle the quarterback if he's behind the guys blocking him. So yeah, just a rundown. So yeah, defense, kicker, tight end, wide receiver, running back, and QB. So yeah, again, I'm not as tech savvy right now. So what I'm going to do, for just a moment, I'm going to do the drafts with the real people, again, working on the censoring stuff. But I'll make a little note here to let you know where it is in the draft. And then I'll write a little X here, save the player that was taken. So I'll go like this, X, and do a little adjustment. Just a little annotation to see who's all taken, and I'll write down the players right here. Underneath Jank, yeah, it's just a Jank graphic right now. But yeah, I'll make the team right here, and then later on I will compile the teams from all the players that were selected, and then from each of the teams give a little draft analysis, and then hopefully throughout the year I'll get better with technology, do the graphics, and then I'll post the leagues every now and then, see how everyone is doing. Okay, so that's a little rundown. I'm gonna do it right now. Start the league, and let's see how this goes. So again, thanks all the patience for joining me today, and I'm gonna see how this goes. All right. Oh yeah, I won't be able to show I'm not sure how censorship and trademark rules go, so I won't be able to show the actual draft right here. I'm just gonna have to do my best to keep up here. But let's start it. Okay, so the way it goes, I just started one, and I will be entering the team. So it's a random position in which I start out. There's 10 people in this team who are also trying to draft a player. What a draft is that they will select a player, and let's say they want a running back first, Saquon or Bijan or Jamar Chase, and then the next person goes and they select a player, and then it will go 1 through 10, and then for the sake of balance, they'll go 10 through 1, and there will be a total of 16 rounds. And let's see, so it's just a random selected their draft number, and I got 4th place. So let me see, I'm just gonna make some little notes here, little W, in this case, the person I really want at that position, I want to go for a balance. So there's like a lot of really good running backs and a lot of good wide receivers. My strategy is gonna be completely balanced. Try to be so 5 running backs, 5 receivers, 2 QBs, 2 tight ends, a kicker, and a defense. And I'm gonna try to have like instead of like 3 really good, like let's say I'm not gonna get them like 3 tier 1s and tier 2. That's what these T's are. 3 tier 1s and 2 running back and like 1 tier 1 wide receiver. Instead, I'm gonna try to go for like 2 tier 1, 2 upper tiers running back and 2 upper tiers wide receiver. I just like that strategy because of course NFL is a really physical sport and players are often hurt, and it's really annoying trying to deal with. Let's say you only have like one good wide receiver, right? And for whatever happens, he just either doesn't pan out or he gets hurt. Trying to scramble, trying to find a backup for that top right receiver, just it can put a damper on the season. So I'm going to try to have as much balance as possible. So in this case, I'm picking 4th. Now the top rated ones in this are Saquon, Bijan, and Jamar Chase. Those are typically the top 3. Jahmyr Gibbs usually goes 4th. So in this case, I'm going to. Then of course there's about the running back you can get on the turn. Of course, it never goes that 3. People can have their own opinion on who they think is going to do better. I'm going to try to get one of these 4, perhaps Derrick Henry. He did really well last year. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with running back first, and I'm going to try to get Henry or one of these 4 running backs if they're there. So that's his draft for this first round. Let me see, 4. So I'm going to replace all these 4s right here with a W. W. As for my quarterback, I think the best one I'm going to try to get is Baker Mayfield. Now, these quarterbacks right here, they throw the ball, but they're also known for running the ball, and they get a lot of points like that. It's 10 yards, or it's 0.1 per every yard. So these guys get a lot of points. But this guy right here, Baker Mayfield, he has a lot of people who that they've added to his offense, a lot of wide receivers, and some coming, and a good one, Chris Godwin. Let me see where he is. He's somewhere over here, right? Chris Godwin. Now they got him like a tier 7, not highly ranked, but he's doing really well last year before he got hurt. Anyway, so he has like a lot of players on his team to throw the ball to, and he finished actually 4th last year. He goes on the radar because he's not really that like a flashy name, but I think that's going to be like a value pick to go with. Alright, so it's about to start. Let's see. Of course, I'm going to try to keep up with as much as possible by backspacing the rounds. That way, it'll be easier to see next to the players as the rounds move on, and try to put it next to the players once they are taken, just to keep more track of it. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. The rules about showing other apps and services and graphics as much right now, but that's the goal throughout the year, to learn more the ways this can get better. But I guess this is a nice little time capsule, just to see where I was at the beginning and streaming, and like where I'll be wherever it is that this video is being watched. So yeah, I don't know, I think it's a nice little amateur touch just to see the progress that's been made along the way. Okay, almost there. So the draft was started, or it was loading up, and there's about a minute and a half left. I didn't mark what time the actual draft is starting, but I guess I'll do that in post. Fix it in post. All right. So yeah, just marking all the W's right now. Okay, there we go. And I think what I'm going to do is, as the rounds go on, I'm just going to be backspacing it. Yeah. That way, so of course, I'm not going all the way down here and then all the way back up here. That would be annoying. Alright, let's see. Almost there. We got like a minute left. So let me see. Value picks. I'm going to try to go running back first, then wide receiver. I think I want to go with 2 in each first, and then get a quarterback. try to go with Baker. He's usually not picked often in these another mock drafts I have done. So hopefully, like in this actual thing, and of course, it's always different, like in a real draft compared to a mock draft. But yeah, that's the goal. I'm gonna go like running back and wide receiver, and then get a quarterback in my 5th round, and then get a tight end later. There's this guy named Tyler Warren. He's out of Penn State. Set a bunch of records for the tight ends last year. So I'm gonna try to get him and see, because there's potential for him just being like an absolute stud, like Brock Bowers was last year. Last year, this guy was a rookie, his first year in the NFL, and look at this, he's being ranked #1 this year, only in his sophomore year. So yeah, I'm gonna go Warren just for that high potential, and then get a reliable backup like Ertz, who was like 7th last year for tight ends. Okay, so first one went, and Jamar Chase went, of course, as expected. Oh, next, Bijan, he went, and then Saquon Barkley, and so now it is my turn. So yeah, they're going by quick, so I'm not gonna be able to do this as quickly with the rounds, but now I know. Okay, so Saquon went. Who can I get? I think I want to go with Henry. Yeah, because this guy was like a reliable running back. Finished like top 4. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, I messed up. I was trying to both. Oh no, wait, never mind. It's weird. They had me at 4th, right? I was 4th in the draft when it showed, but when the actual draft started, it has me listed as 8. Yeah, it's weird, the technology, how it does this sometimes. Anyway, so now I'm actually drafting. Oh, so strange. Sorry for that, everyone. Yeah, so it looks like it's going a lot quicker. Thankfully, I'll just be able to fix this in post-production. So Christian McCaffrey was selected, then Justin Jefferson, then Puka Nacua, and Jahmyr Gibbs. So right now, I'm going to go for the running back, I believe. Ooh, a lot of good running backs already selected. So who am I going to go with? Jonathan Taylor. That's a good pick. Jonathan Taylor's for the Colts now. He's always had like a revolving, his QB always switches, so it's been hard for him to be consistent. But now that he has a good, like a more solid running back or a quarterback, yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor. Let me see. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. Okay, there we go. That's a good one. Look at that. Cap's weird. Oh wait, Derrick Henry was selected then. You see, I didn't even realize Henry was still on the board. Look at that. Oh well, I mean, I'm still good with Jonathan Taylor. He has a lot of potential, but that's a mess up on my part. Anyways, Jonathan Taylor, and then wide receiver. Look at me. This is what happens when you're not as good with technology. Okay, so Jonathan Taylor, and then wide receiver. Yeah, so Jonathan Taylor was selected, or I selected him, and then Derrick Henry, then Ashton Genty. It looks like these people aren't really taking as much time. You got a whole minute to select a player, but yeah, these guys are picking in like 10 seconds. So let me see. Derrick Henry, Ashton Genty, Amon-Ra St. Brown was selected. Okay, so in round 2, it goes Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nico Collins, and I want a wide receiver. So who do I want? Okay. So the top ones left are CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., AJ Brown, and Drake London. And in this case, I want to go with Drake London. Drake London is he's a wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, and they had like this rookie QB last year who didn't play until halfway through the season because of course he's a rookie. But he started doing really well at the end, and he's known for he can do like a really good long pass, which Drake London has he has decent enough speed for that. But they have a good offense, so I'm gonna go with Drake London. Cool, I'm liking my team so far. Jonathan Taylor and Drake London. Right, there we go. Oh, Brock Bowers was selected. Okay, so after my pick, Brock Bowers was selected, and then Josh Allen, the first tight ends and the first QB. Yeah, a lot of people don't go for tight ends or QBs. And in the first couple, like first 2 rounds, unless there's just a really standout. And in this case, of course, top-rated quarterback and tight end were both taken. Right, and then after Josh Allen's, it was Josh Jacob, running back right here. Who else was selected? Bowers, Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay, so yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Was Nakua selected? Let me see. Yeah, Nakua was selected. What else? Trying to make sure I got everything selected. So in this case, we are on the, let me see, 10, 20. So we are, let me see, 20. So that would be 30, 29. We have done 28 picks so far. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I am missing plenty of players. Sorry, everyone. So after Jacobs, it was Lamar Jackson, and then CeeDee Lamb, and then Malik Neighbors. As jank as this draft is, and true to the name, at least it's a good benchmark that we when I do more technology stuff later. We'll see from where I started out at. Okay, so Brian Thomas was selected. Bucky Irving, running back right here. Jalen Hurts at QB. Okay. Don't think Daniels was selected yet. Genty was, I believe, as well as Devon Achane. I selected Jonathan Taylor. Let me see. Who else? Nico Collins was selected, I believe. Yep, Nico Collins was selected. Okay, I mean, that's about it right now. Then I'll try to do the draft from where it is right now. Yeah, that threw me off. I was saying I was the 4th one in the waiting room, and then when it actually started, I was 7th. So that's so weird. Okay, so let me see. Hurts was Kyron Williams, a running back. Kyron Williams is really good. They just don't know how much he'll be able to keep up as he did last year because they used him a lot, and so they think it might. So yeah, there's questions about where his production will be. They also just say he's just like not a player that makes moves. Like he doesn't like have like this quick explosive plays, so his name doesn't exactly jump off the board. But I don't know. I think he's still pretty solid. So let me see. I am 3 picks away. So where is it? We are at round 3, pick. Let me see. Round 3, pick 6. So pick 6. Oh, and see, look at that. I can't erase this without making that mess up. That's weird. Okay, so let me try. What did I do? Round 2. Oh, I went like this. There we go. Look at all that mess up right here. Okay. So after Kyron, it was Chase Brown. Let's see what else we got. So Chase Brown was selected, and then Kenneth Walker, and then let me see, AJ Brown, and then now it's my turn. So I went with running back, and then I went with wide receiver. So I want to go with a decent running back or a wide receiver, and in this case, I got 40 seconds left. There's some good wide receivers left. There's this guy named Tyreek Hill who was selected, but he's capable of being like one of the best wide receivers in the league, but that's when he isn't hurt or his quarterback isn't hurt. So in this case, because of how much of a risk that is, I'm going to go with this running back available called Alvin Kamara, the guy who was talking about before, who also catches the ball. So in that case, Alvin Kamara as a running back. I think that's a good one. Okay. So that means I want to go with a wide receiver next, just because I want that balance. So Kamara, this is throwing me off. Look at this. Lawrence, what even happened here? Wide receiver, yep, that's a tight end. What happens if I just go? No, not that. Like that, but like that. That's strange. Okay. Anyways. Oh, it's my pick. Okay, so after Kamara, it was McLaurin, McBride, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow. Oh, it's my turn. So, yeah, wide receiver. In this case was Terry Oh yeah, Terry McLaurin. I just said his name. He was picked. He was picked right after Kamara. Darn it, that's who I wanted to get. Anyways, I want a wide receiver. So should I go with Tyreek Hill? He is that guy, that boom or bust player. For where I can get. Because I want to go with quarterback, of course, with that 5th round, it could be a while until I can get another wide receiver. Who knows what the value will be there. So you know what? I'm going to risk it all, and I'm going to get Tyreek Hill. Okay. So, got Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, Drake London. What's this? And why can't I go space? Okay, there we go. And, I'm in danger because after Tyreek Hill, they picked Patrick Mahomes and then Ladd McConkey. So the next quarterback selected, darn it, I should have noticed that. I should have gone with Baker Mayfield. Because, yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get him on the turn. Well, this is why we practice. This is why we do better. This is why I get better at technology. Okay, so yeah, Burrow was selected, Mahomes was selected, Baker was selected. Let me see, Chase Brown, Cook, Kamara. Who else were selected? London, AJ Brown, Ladd McConkey, Hill. Let me see. So T. Higgins still there. I believe Smith and Jigba is still there. Yep, Smith and Jigba. Let me see. Who are the tight ends still selected? So McBride was taken. Of course, no kickers and defenses. Kickers aren't normally taken till like the 12th round, 12th, anywhere from the last round, 12 to 16th. Defenses, around 9th. That's the earliest, if like a really good one. Then 10th, anywhere from 10 to 15 where they're mostly taken. So Ladd McConkey was taken. Let's see, who else? T. Higgins is gone. Kittle. Let's see. So I got, it's about a minute between each pick. I have, let me see. So I'm going to pick the 8th person. So I'm the 8th one in the 5th round, and 3 in the 3rd in the 4th round. So I got like 11 picks left. So James Cook was just selected. I want them all to stay away from the quarterbacks. Don't let them even look at the quarterback. Come on, Baker Mayfield. I do not believe he's going to last 11 picks, but I mean, one can only hope. Okay. James Cook. Yeah, I wish this would have gone back, but when I go back, is like, look at that. That's a quarterback right there. That's a running back. That's a wide receiver. That's a tight end. It's all. That's why we practice. Well, I am true to my name, Jank mock draft. And unfortunately, throughout the season, I'll have like better graphics, and I can just showcase this is how everyone is doing. Let's see. So after what it said, Cook was picked. Devontae Adams was picked. Who else? Yeah, so Devontae Adams was picked, and then Amarian Hampton. Okay, so they went with the tight end, Sam Laporta. He normally does pretty good. Well, he had a really good season 2 years ago, but not so much last year. It took him a while. His team had a lot of, I'm not really sure. They never got in the groove when it came to the tight end. But, of course, their running back right here, Jahmyr Gibbs, had like the best season last year. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's their number 1 wide receiver, finished like 4th. So their running back and wide receiver did really well, but the tight end, not so much. But, yeah, he's still a solid one. That's a 5th round pick. How many picks I got left? 7th. Come on, Baker. I need you. Wait, why am I pressing next there? Come on, Baker. I need you to last. Come on. So let's see. You got 18 seconds left with this next pick. And after Sam Laporta, it is... Sam Laporta is a tight end for the Detroit Lions. Okay, so they went with Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a wide receiver. He just finished his 2nd year. He's out of Ohio State. Really good, but his offense has not been consistent. So he hasn't been getting as much points as his talent leads him to. Smith and Jigba. He plays for his Seahawks. Did really well last year. Have a new quarterback, this guy named Sam Darnold. His first year with that team. So they're unsure how he's going to do, but he has a lot of capabilities to be like a second tier wide receiver right here. Of course, number one being reserved for Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, these top guys right here. Garrett Wilson selected. He's a wide receiver for the New York Jets. There you got a new quarterback, Justin Fields, who actually runs the ball a lot. So they're unsure how many points. Teams that have Justin Fields are, let me see, where's Wilson? Teams that have Justin Fields are known for being more like a run-heavy offense. So it's unsure how many points Garrett Wilson's going to get. Of course, all these are just my own biases, confirmation biases I'm using to not select them. Everyone has their own analysis on these players. All right, I got 3 picks left. Oh no, one of the guys is auto drafting, which means that the person's not actually in the lobby. They just like selected enter, and then they're gonna be like they just have a computer for them, and so the computer will pick like the best player available. So they might go with Baker Mayfield. I am actually next, and no one has selected Baker Mayfield yet. Come on, please. So Hubbard was selected, and then Pacheco was selected. Where's his name? Oh yeah, right over here. Pacheco. So I got 40 seconds left. Come on. Please last. 30 seconds left. Come on. $20. Come on. All right. 15 seconds left. 13. 10. 9. 8. They went with Travion Henderson. Thank God. I wish I could have gotten him in a later round too. He's a great steal. He's a rookie and capable of these really explosive fast plays, and has the strength to withstand the tackles. But yeah, I got to go with Baker Mayfield that he's available. There we go. Baker. I am so lucky. I did not think he would last that many picks, but thankfully he did. Okay, so yeah, Baker's gone. And Travion Henderson is gone. Let me see, running back. Travion Henderson. All right. Oh yeah, I'm going to pick soon next. So who do I want? I want either a wide receiver. I know. Oh, okay. I was worried. I'm like, I did select Hill, did I? But yeah, I did. So there's Tyreek Hill. Okay. Now this WRT, that stands for wide receiver, running back, and tight end. And in the mock draft, any of those players can go in this position. Now, because this is a PPR, it favors the wide receivers. So I think I want to go with the wide receiver. But of course, it's going to depend on who's available. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so James Conner got picked. Let me see, he's right here. James Conner. Cortland Sutton, a wide receiver out of Denver. So let me see, DK Metcalf is still available. This team just they paid $30 million to get him this year. So I have a feeling that if they can, he has a solid year, but if he pays $30 million to get someone, odds are that they're going to use him a lot, which is good for PPR for catching the ball. But who are the running backs available? Not really any standout. So for when it comes to a wide receiver, I would go with DK if he's there. Okay, so DeAndre Swift was just picked, and then Jerry Jeudy. Great, so I'm going to go with Metcalf. Okay, so Swift was picked, and then Jerry Jeudy. Where is Jeudy? He is somewhere around here. There. Oh, well, he got picked down there. Okay, anyways, DK Metcalf. Yeah, cool. I'm glad with that pick. Okay, so after Metcalf, let's see. Oh, Mike Evans, is he still available? Yeah, he is. Wow. So Mike Evans available. McLaurin got picked. Who else? Metcalf just got picked by me. Let's see, what else? Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker. Yeah, those are good. They've had a couple down years. Wait, was Kenneth Walker picked? Yeah, it looks like he was. Okay, so Kenneth Walker was already picked. Who got picked after Metcalf? So DJ, it was or D Moore. I always forget if it's DJ or Dave Moore. I think it's DJ. Let me see. Where's wide receiver? Here. Where is Moore? Hunter. Where is he? Smith, Rice. Moore. Did I write Moore? I thought I did. Well, Moore got picked. Where is it? Where are you, Rice? Is he over here? Oh, there he is. Okay. A kicker. Wow, a kicker won already. The top kicker. Yeah, this happens sometimes. Sometimes people just really like a player. Oftentimes, so this kicker's name is Brandon Aubrey. He plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Typically regarded as the best kicker. So yes, this person did it. I wonder if this person is also just like a Dallas Cowboys fan and they just really wanted him on their team. So yep, Aubrey got selected. Mike Evans was selected. Devontae Smith. He's not the number one target on his team, the Philadelphia Eagles, but yeah, he's so good he could be a number one on plenty of other teams. So where is Smith? Right there. McMillan, he's a rookie. His first year in the pros, but he's got projected really well. So like they say he's gonna be like a one of the top receivers like already in the league. Well, not right now, but like by the time he hits like his stride. Okay, so wide receivers, Flowers got picked. Breece Hall got picked really high last year, but he had a down year, so that's why he's going a little bit later this year. Where's Hall? I know it's right there. You go, Breece Hall. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. 4 tight ends already picked, so there's a couple still good ones. I want to give, of course, Warren. That's not till like the 8th round. So how many people they got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Okay, so yeah, the end of the draft says it's in the 7th round, and yeah, I got 6 players. So yeah, I'm trying to keep up with stuff. Let's see. Okay, Xavier Worthy, just got picked. He's a wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now there's another player, Rashee Rice, who does well on their team. They're like 1A and 1B on the team, but this guy is going to be suspended for 6 weeks in the year for doing a high-speed crash on the highway. So yeah, meanwhile, so yeah, back to in the sport, Worthy's gonna get a lot more catches since he's gonna be like the number 1 guy there. David Montgomery, running back for the Detroit Lions, similar with Smith. He's number 2, but just really good. That he just gets a lot of points. Who else got picked? Mark Andrews, a tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. Usually it's like a number 2, number 3 tight end. Had a down year though last year. Got hurt. I believe at the end of 2 years ago, and then it took him a while to get in the stride at the beginning of last year. He started to hit the stride at the end of last year, but of course questions remain because of he's getting older in the league. All right, who do I want? I think I want to go with another bench. I have 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a QB. I think I want to go with the running back next. And in this case, which one of these running backs would I want to? RJ Harvey, for sure, if he's there. Yeah, he's a rookie, but he's going to this team called the Denver Broncos, which have this head coach named Sean Payton. And what he's known for is drawing up a bunch of different plays, like we call it schemes. And RJ Harvey is known for being able to both catch and run the ball, which fits well for this team. And they selected him pretty high in the actual NFL draft, so it bodes well for how much they'll use him. Okay, so Hawkinson was picked. He's a tight end for the Minnesota Vikings. Solid. He got hurt. He didn't play till like halfway through the season, but when he did, yeah, it's about a tier 2 tight end. Okay, so what am I gonna want to do? Am I want to go with? I think I might want to go with another running back, and then a wide receiver. And then, yeah, tight end. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Tight end, Tyler Warren in the 9th. So who's my team so far? I got Baker, Kamara, Taylor, London Hill, and Metcalf. Okay, I'm liking the team. Wow, someone going with the Eagles. So that one's gone. So that's the first defense off the board. I wonder if it's the same person that picked the kicker. Let me see. Yeah, it's the same person that picked the kicker. So I guess they're trying to draft like the best person at each position before going for the skill positions. Travis Hunter was selected, which means RJ Harvey should still be available. Yes, he is. I am going to go with R.J. Harvey, final answer. Okay, Harvey was selected. Harvey. Travis Hunter was also selected. Travis Hunter played both wide receiver and on the defense last year. And he's a really good athlete because he can play both sides of the team really well. Except you don't really get points for that defense and the fantasy league, so I tend to steer away from him. Where is he? Right here. Evan Ingram, also a tight end. He plays for Denver Broncos, his first year with the team. The head coach, Sean Payton, used to be the head coach for the New Orleans Saints, and he coached this guy named Jimmy Graham, who had a really great career when he was with them. One of the best tight end, like the best tight end in leagues, breaking a bunch of records. But his career kind of went by the downside when he got traded to a different team that didn't use him as much. Anyways, Evan Ingram has like a lot of potential to be close to like similar to the Jimmy Graham that the head coach was coaching. So he has a lot of he could do well. Calvin Ridley. He is going to be the number one wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. They have this. The Tennessee Titans got a rookie QB with their number one overall pick this year, Cam Ward, and so he's going to be their number one target, and so that bodes well for receptions in a PPR league. Okay, 8th pick. Who do I want? Who is available? There'll still be quite a few picks left until tight end, so I'm going to go with a running back or a wide receiver. In this case, I got 3 running backs, right? 1, 2, 3, and 3 wide receivers. So I'm going to go with either the best running back or wide receiver still available. And in this case, let's see, Tony Pollard, he's the number 1 for the Titans. And then let's see who's available for the wide receiver. Rashee Rice, he is pretty good. He got suspended for the first 6 weeks, but I don't really have to worry about that since I already got my other wide receivers. I can just plug him in once he gets back into the league. So I think I'm going to go with that. I went with Rashee Rice. Okay, there we go. Chris Olave, meanwhile, was already picked before. So where is he? Chris Olave was picked. Rashee Rice. And then I picked Rashee Rice, and now I'm waiting. So Tyler Warren should still be there. I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna see how many tight ends are available. So in this case, Kelsey's still, Kelsey and Njoku. Oh, Njoku just got picked. Okay. So Njoku's picked. Let's see. Waddle got picked for the wide receivers. Where is he? Oh, I know from Mark Tail. Let's see. Waddle. Aaron Jones for the running back was selected. Where is he? There we go. Aaron Jones. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Pollard's a good running back. He's still the number 1 for the Tennessee Titans. George Pickens is still available. He played for the Steelers last year, but they had this QB, Russell Wilson. He could really only throw the ball downfield because he wasn't mobile enough, and the guys protecting him weren't as good enough. So he couldn't like really get an angle to pass the ball short. So Pickens could only get the ball down the field. But he's on a different team now, the Dallas Cowboys, who are better at have a better offense. So who knows how much his production can improve. QB, Purdy was selected. Let's see. Yep. Bo Nix, Murray still there. I think Goff. Yeah, Goff was selected. Herbert, still there. All right, so there goes Tony Pollard, running back for the Tennessee Titans. George Pickens goes. So let's see. George Pickens is the number 2, but he could be like a number 1 on a lot of teams. He's number 2 for the Dallas Cowboys. So Tyrone Tracy was just selected. JJ McCarthy. Rookie QB has a really good offense though. They don't know where he's going to be. He showed good flashes, but he got hurt. He never played last year as a rookie, so he's essentially a rookie this year. But some people select him high. Okay, Travis Kelce, Mr. Swift just got selected. So tight ends are starting to go. Let me see. So yeah, the next projected is Tyler Warren. I should probably pick Warren if he's there. I don't think he. Oh, so I got 1, 2, 3. I got 4 picks left because Doomsday just got selected. He's like the number 2 for the Chicago Bears right now, but they say all signs are pointing to him being the number 1 by the end of the season. Okay, what else? What else? So we got 30 seconds left on this next draft, and I want to give Warren, yeah, a lot of potential with him. If not, I just wait till the later rounds to get Zach Ertz, I believe, Mr. Reliable. So defense was selected, Broncos. So that means 3 picks left. Bo Nix was just selected, and then Emeka Ibuka. He's wide receiver 2 as of right now for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So depending on how Chris Godwin returns from injury, he'll be competing for number 2, number 1. But he's just a rookie, but has a lot of potential. Ah man. So Steelers defense was selected. So there goes 3 of the top 4 defenses, but I can still get the Ravens. Okay. So it's my pick. So yeah. There we go. Tyler Warren thankfully was still available. So we got our explosive, potentially good tight end. Potentially good. I mean, he projected solid, but like potentially upper tier tight end. And then I'm gonna make sure to get a more reliable one further down. I wonder if I should get a defense with my next pick. Since already the 3 of the top 4 selected, I should probably give one of the Ravens. Yeah. Let me see. I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got 3 running backs, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers. So I still need 2 more running backs, I would say. Let me see if my math is right. Because right now it says we are in the end of the 9th round, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Mooney was just selected, wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, and then Chase McLaughlin, another kicker. Where's Mooney? He's somewhere around here, right? Oh, there you go. Okay, Chase McLaughlin, kicker, and then Debo, a wide receiver. Debo Samuel. So yeah, I think I want to go with defense with my next pick. Stephon Diggs was just selected. Okay. Now do I want to go with a defense or do I want to go with a running back or a wide receiver? Jalen Warren's still available. He's the number 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wide receiver. Jacoby Myers, who's the number 1 for the Las Vegas Raiders. Is Matthew Golden still there? No, I'm not seeing him, which means probably was already selected. Let me see. Yeah, Golden was selected. So you don't want to go to the defense or a wide receiver, or perhaps a top running back. But you know what? I'm going to go with one of the defense, give one of the top ones that while they're still there. So in this case, I'm going to go with either the Baltimore Ravens or the Minnesota Vikings. It's a good question. I am going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. All right. Michael Pittman was selected. So Golden was selected. Okay. I believe Pittman was selected. Ricky Pearsall, the number 1 for the 49ers. What do I want next? Running back. Yeah, because I only got, 3 running backs? Yeah, I want to go with running back next. Where was Golden selected? Let me see, I'm looking. Oh, he was picked all the way in the 7th round. Okay. Kraft, tight end for the, let me see, for the Green Bay Packers was selected. Okay. Running back? Yeah. Because I got Kamara, Taylor, and RJ Harvey. Let's see. Jalen Warren is still there. He probably won't be there. By the time I come to pick, I am picking in, let me see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm picking 12 picks from now, so more than likely not. Then there's these two running backs for the Washington Commanders, Krosky Merritt and Austin Eckler. They don't know which one of them is going to be the running back this year, so it's a give and take. But I mean, one of them is the number one. So I think I might, yeah, I would go Warren or one of those guys. And then Javonte Williams is still there. He's the number one for the Dallas Cowboys, but he's not like as good like of a number one as these other running backs are, and their offense for running isn't as good. But he's still a number one, and so if the ball gets close to the other end of the field, they're more likely going to use him. To, well, he would be like their number one back for that. So I'll get him. He's still a good pick. Bates, kicker for the Detroit Lions, was selected. Kyle Pitts. This guy has always had like a lot of potential. He's selected the number 4 pick in the draft that he was taken, but he's never quite lived up to it. They say either because of him or the guys designing plays for him. He shows flashes, but he's never consistent with it. But who knows? Maybe this year will be the year. So Kyler Murray was selected. Caleb Johnson, rookie, out of Iowa. He plays for the Steelers now. Where is he? Right here. Selected. They don't know how he's going to do. He's a workhorse. He gets the ball a lot, but like, how is that going to translate to the NFL, and how much will you split reps in between him and Jaylen Warren? So Cooper Kupp was selected. Really good wide receiver. Slightly past his prime, but always capable of being. There's always hope that he can regain the form. Cooper Kupp had like a year that Jamar Chase had a couple years ago. Jaylen Warren was just selected, so there goes him. Keon Coleman, out of Buffalo. He's not the number one, but he has potential. He keeps improving each year, so he can't be the number one for Buffalo. So Krosky, Merritt, and Eckler are still there, as well as Javonte Williams. Let's see. Juwan Jennings was selected out of the 49ers. I am 3 picks away. Krosky Merritt was just selected. So there goes Ja'Cory. So that leaves us, Eckler. So Myers was also selected. Or he's somewhere right here, right? There he goes. Myers. He did request a trade, so they don't know. When a player requests a trade, it can sometimes lead to bad chemistry between him and the QB, and or sometimes in the season the team will trade him to another team, and you don't know how he's going to do there. He can either do better or he can do worse on that team, so it's like a little bit of a question mark on them. Okay, so then Drake May was selected, QB. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with the running back. Yeah, since I only have 1, 2, 3. Let me see. Yeah, so I want to go with the running back. Eckler's still there, as well as Javonte Williams. I'm going to go with Javonte Williams. I'm going to play it safe. He's the number 1 for sure for the Cowboys, and so I'm going to have that on my team. So, okay. There goes Javonte Williams. J.K. Dobbins was just selected running back. He had a solid year last year, but he's going to be the rookie now behind R.J. Harvey. So let me see. Where is Javonte Williams? Right here. Okay. Dobbins was selected. Alright. So we're at the final pick of the 11th round. Do I have 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I got to put the Ravens here. Okay, that's 11. Yeah. So yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, so I have 4 running backs and 4 wide receivers, so pretty balanced right now. I got my tight end. I think I'm going to go with Mr. Reliable. I'm going to go with my other tight end, see how many picks away he is. Let me see. Oh, he's 20 picks down, so I can get a wide receiver or a running back then, in that case, before worrying about him. Let me see. Who are the wide receivers still available? We should still... Was Jameson? I think Jameson was picked. Oh, Jordan Addison is still there. Similar situation with Rasheed Rice. He's going to be suspended, but once he comes in the league, he's a solid wide receiver to have. Okay, who else was selected? CJ Stroud was selected. Giants defense, not rated really high, so I wonder if this person's just a Giants fan. I'm gonna right here, Giants. Oh, it's my pick. Okay, Caleb Williams was selected. I think I want to go with a wide receiver because there's a lot of good number one still available. So there's Jordan Addison, Khalil Shakir, Chris Godwin, Josh Downs, Jaden Reed. Yeah, Shakir was the one I was mentioning, who's the number one right now for Buffalo. Keon's like number 2, Shakir's number 1. Jordan Addison's still good. So it's actually I'm either gonna go with Addison or Shakir, one of these two. Addison's better. There's a question though with the QB thrown in because he's essentially a rookie. Let's just say the ceiling is higher on Addison than Shakir, but I am gonna go with, let's see, Shakir. Yeah, I guess I just like having the number ones on my team, just reliable. So yeah, Shakir. Let's see. Oh, it's gonna be my pick soon again. But I don't want to go with another wide receiver. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Shakir, and yeah, I went with Javonte. Okay, so yeah, Shakir. So I got quite a few picks. Should have gone with the tight end. I don't know. I think Zach Ertz will last until then. So running back and tight end, I believe should be next. Okay, so Shakir was selected. Where's wide receiver? Shakir. Who else? Keenan Allen. Really good. But he's getting a little bit older, so he doesn't have as much production. But he's going back to his old team, so who knows how he'll do. Scatterbo was selected. He's a rookie, though had a lot of yards last year for Arizona State. He can both catch and run the ball. He's the number 2, so it's going to be between him and Tyrone Tracy, who's going to be like really like the lead back, but a lot of potential with Scatterbo. Kincaid is picked, tight end out of Buffalo. Where is it? Right here. Oh yeah, I selected Warren. Dalton Kincaid. So what do I want now? Let me see. I need a kicker, but I want to get my other running back while I'm at it. Yeah, so I got 5 wide receivers. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. Yeah, I want my 5th running back. I wonder what I'm going to do with that one. There is this guy named Joe Mixon who is really good, but got in a serious injury. They don't, he got a broken foot, serious for football. Let me see. Other players getting selected. Let me just write this down. So Eckler got picked. Prescott got picked. Oh, there goes Jordan Addison. So yeah, Mixon is doing really well, but I don't know if he'll play this season. But there's always the potential that once he returns, right now they say he's slated week 5 as a return, week 5 out of 18, but that could get postponed. But he's my 5th running back. If he can just stay there on the IR, who knows? Maybe he'll have points. It's just comparing him to like who I'm gonna get that's left that's available that are all like 2nd or 3rd running backs. I guess I'd rather just risk it with him instead of like trying to hope for a 2nd or 3rd running back really pushing their way up the team. Okay, so after Addison, it was Reed for the wide receivers. Where's it? Jaden Reed, right here. And then Bigsby for running back. And then, yeah, that pick. Okay, so I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 5 picks away. Colson Loveland, rookie tight end out of Chicago. Surprisingly enough, this was a shocker on a lot of people. He got selected before Tyler Warren in the draft. I guess the Chicago Bears just liked his potential. But yeah, Warren and Loveland were the top 2 tight ends selected. So Najee Harris just got selected for the running backs. Similar situation with Caleb. He was a workhorse for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. He's going to be presumably the number 2 running back for the Los Angeles Chargers, behind Omari and Hampton. But again, still solid enough. He's been averaging 1,000 yards per year. He's hit that each of the 4 years that he's been in the league. So he's a consistent, reliable running back. Okay, Nick Chubb just got selected. Really good when he wasn't hurt. But he got hurt and his career hasn't really been the same. But he's going to be the number one with Joe Mixon out for the Houston Texans. So who knows how he'll do. Jordan Love got selected. Out of Packers, Goddard. One of the situations again with injuries, does really well when he's on the field, but he's missed quite a few games each year. Okay, so let me see real quick. So who did I want to go with? Did I want to go with tight end? Did I have my fifth running back? I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, running back was it. White. Joe Mixon's there. Ramondre Stevenson is a backup. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Mixon just for the potential that he could have and compared to everybody else who's available. So I'm going to go with Mixon. Yep, Joe Mixon. And then I can move him to the slot called IR, which means injured reserve. And there's players that are injured for quite a few weeks that can be placed here, and you can pick up another person for your bench. So I wonder if I can hold off on getting Zach Ertz if it doesn't look like people are going to select him, and then just select another skill position. And then once the year starts, I can move Mixon to IR and then select Zach Ertz. Anyways, Jordan Mason got selected for running backs. Coker and Shaheed got selected. Where is Shaheed? Shaheed. Here it is. Is Coker on here? No, he must have been. I just read further down. But someone liked what they saw. Alright. Shaheed. Jerome Ford, a running back for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, it goes over here if I write it. Oh well, I mean, if the rank further down. So yeah, Coker and Ford were selected. Okay, so it's my pick next in 10 seconds. In this case, I got my 5 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got my 5 receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I want to go with either my tight end, my QB, or a kicker. Dylan Sampson just got selected. Funny enough, Ford and Sampson went back to back, and they're both running backs for the Cleveland Browns. So anyways, QB, kicker, and tight end. Who do I want? How far away are they on tight ends? I don't know if I want to risk it. He's the 3rd tight end left. I'm going to go... Yeah, I'll go Mr. Reliable. Alright, so I'm going to go with Ertz. Here we go. Ertz. Good, I'm liking my team so far. Is Sampson here? Tutin, Stevenson, Bonnie. Mixon. Oh, Stevenson got selected. Tyler Bass got selected. Etienne just got selected. Okay. Yeah, Fields still available. He's good. He can run it. There's a lot of points with running QBs, so that's some potential for my backup. Who else? I already got my tight ends. I got my defense. Oh yeah, my kicker. So Dicker the kicker. Yeah, Dicker the kicker. He's still there. Boswell is still there, and Little. So they have these preseasons, like they're almost like exhibition games before the actual season starts, and Cam Little hit a field goal 70 yards away from the Toon Forks, the field goal post. So that would have been a record had it been like in the actual NFL league. So pretty good kicker. Travis Etienne got selected. Let me see. Yeah. 49ers defense. 49ers are named after the gold rush in San Francisco, 1849. led to a lot of people moving to the west there. Tootin got selected. He's going to be part of a running back, what's called a running back committee, which is a group of running backs. They don't really know who's the number one, but it's like a sum of all parts. So it's going to be him, Tank Bigsby, and Travis Etienne. But he's a rookie, and they who knows how he could be number one, he could be number three. Alright, so we're almost done with the 14th round. Oh, Chris Godwin is still there? Let me see. Yeah, Chris Godwin is still there. That's a solid pick. Chris Bottlesville just got selected. Tyler Loop. Okay. Houston's defense just got selected. Who do I want next? I still got kicker. Okay, still got kicker and a QB left to choose from. Yeah, Fields is still there. Fields, Stafford, Penix gets selected. Oh, he's not ranked. Okay. Penix, he's a quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. He's a rookie that came on last year, but yeah, shows some potential. Herbert is still there. Wow. Yeah, Herbert, Fields, Ward. Let's see. Jared Goff is still there. Did I write Goff? Oh no, I pressed X on him. Jared Goff finished 7th last year, but it's one of those things where his name doesn't really pop off the board. But I mean, to have 7th as my QB, I think is pretty good. Yeah, he's the quarterback for the Detroit Lions. They have a lot of weapons on their team. So Vikings got selected. Dicker the kicker. Brandon Ayuk. He was the number one for the San Francisco 49ers 2 years ago. But he got hurt and hasn't really regained form. So there's Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, and Ricky Pearsall, who are on the 49ers. Each of them could have number one potential if they live up to their talent, but your injuries or just inconsistency and or just playing time has really limited them. So Chris Godwin got selected. Seahawks defense. Seahawks. Who else? Okay, so I'm 2 picks away. Yeah, I think I'll go with Jared Goff, if he's still there. We got 10 seconds left. Xavier Legette, a wide receiver out of Carolina. He just got the Panthers got selected. Did I have him ranked? No. Okay. Nope. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go with Goff. All right. Goff, and then my last pick will be a kicker. Okay. So who's gonna be the kickers available? Xavier Legette got picked, and then there's the Bears defense. Then Kareem Hunt, Higgins, Bucker. Bucker is a kicker. So they got Jake Elliott, Cairo Santos, Matt Gay, Kareem Fairbairn, Josh Carty, Nick Folk, McManus, Meyer, Cam Little. So I'm either gonna go with Little or Fairbairn. Fairbairn finished like 4th for the kickers last year. What did I write next? But yeah, there's still Cam Little, who has a lot of potential with them. Let's see. I want to go with Fairbairn or Little. Who should I go with? You know what? For the fun of it, I'll go with Cam Little. Alright, there we go. So there's my team. And who else was selected? And then I'll be compiling the team soon after this draft ends. Alright. Might as well just wait till this happens since I've already picked the players and then compiled the team. So after I picked Cam Little, went Zach Charbonnet, Justin Herbert, Jake Elliott, Rashad White, and 3 picks left. Interesting enough, Rashad White was the #1 running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year until he got hurt, and then it became Bucky Irving. Where's White? There he is. Yeah, so it's White, and then so now Bucky Irving's #1. So my team is Baker Mayfield, Alvin Kamara. Quarterback is Baker Mayfield. Running backs are Alvin Kamara and Jonathan Taylor. Wide receivers are Drake London, Tyreek Hill. Tight end is Tyler Warren. Flex is DK Metcalf. Defense is Baltimore Ravens. Kicker is Cam Little. On my bench is RJ Harvey, Rashid Rice, Javonte Williams, Khalil Shakir, Jared Goff, Zach Ertz, and Joe Mixon. So now the draft has ended. The last 3 picks were Cardinals defense, Justin Fields, and Jackson Dart. So I am going to be compiling these teams now. Let me see. All right. It's going to take a little bit for it to load, and then I'm going to write down these teams here. And now just write team 1 through 10 for the sake of privacy. Of course, my bias will be towards my own team on how I think each team is drafted. So I'll analyze each team and then then rank them how I think they'll do. So let me see. I'm just waiting right now for the league to load. Might take just a couple seconds. Okay, I'm loading it up. Let me see. My team. Match up. Yep, okay. League. Okay, here we go. So, just from starting, I'm just going to do the starters on there. Let me see. So for the first team listed, it is Murray at QB, Bucky Irving, Bijan Robinson, good pick right there. I wonder what I should do. Let me see. Team 1, I can copy and paste. So I go QB, RB, RB, receiver, wide receiver, and what else? Yeah, tight end, flex, WRT, DST, kicker, the bench. Bench has normally like what, 7 or 6? Yeah, bench. This league has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then I can just copy and paste this. All right, copy. I just Control V. All right, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay, how many times was that? 1, 2, 3. Where's that? 3, 4. Let me just go up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, oh wow, perfectly. 10. Cool. Alright. So, at QB is Kyler Murray for this first team. Bucky Irving at running back. I can just do the down space instead. Bucky Irving. Bijan often goes as the number 1 or the number 2 running back. Devontae Adams. Malik Neighbors. Tight end is Travis Kelce. at flex. Marvin Harrison. You know, I think I'm just gonna do the starters. Marvin Harrison. Defense, Vikings. And kicker, Boswell. So, my initial thoughts. Let's see. Kyler Murray's yeah, he's like I put it like a tier 2 QB. He's okay. He's just not as consistent. He can run the ball. He finished like number 8 QB, I believe, last year. Bucky Irving can catch the ball, so that's a good one. Bijan Robinson, number 2, can both catch and run. Finish like finishing top 4 in points for running back. So yeah, he's like 4th and 8th in running back potential. Irving didn't have his like finish in the 8th because he didn't really become the number 1 running back until the end of last year after Rashad White got hurt. But his potential is there to be it. So that's good. Devontae Adams, Malik Neighbors. Interesting stuff about these guys. Malik Neighbors, really good. Was like number 1 in receptions, like in catches last year. But his QB who's throwing to him, his name is Russell Wilson. And he's the guy that can only really like throw the ball down the field. He hasn't really made as many short passes recently. So it's a question like how much Neighbors is going to get. But one way or another, Neighbors will find himself open. It's just will he be able to get the ball to him. Also, he's on his team called the New York Giants, and they just selected his player, I believe, 24th overall, Jackson Dart, and he's been doing really well in the preseason. The predictions is that Jackson Dart will actually be the starter for the Giants by like week 3 or something. So Neighbors might not have, let's say, points in the first 2 weeks, but come week 3, he'll have like he start to be on a roll. Devontae Adams finished like in the top 15 last year for the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball to him. What was he, 10th or 11th, something like that. Anyways, and the other receiver was like 9th, right ahead of him, Garrett Wilson. But Adams is going now to the Los Angeles Rams. He's going to be the number 2 behind his receiver named Puka Nacua. Matthew Stafford is going to be throwing to him. Matthew Stafford is his quarterback, late 30s, really well when he's healthy, but he's being hurt. Questions are if he's going to even start this year, but let's say he'd be ready for week 1. And if that is the case and they play to how it can be, Adams can be an upper player, but it's just there's questions. He's just getting older. He's a number 2 receiver. Will he be that number 1? But still, yeah, plenty of potential. Travis Kelce was the number 1 tight end a couple of years ago. Was like top 5 in receiving yards as a tight end, which is incredible. His reduction is kind of dipped though. He's more of the tight end. I mean, he's like a 2nd, 3rd tier tight end now. Though of course living his happiest life now, married to Taylor Swift, well, engaged to Taylor Swift. So he doesn't really care about all that production. Potential to be number 1, but honestly I would say number 2, number 3 tier tight end. Marvin Harrison, he was a stud coming out of Ohio State. Has the potential to be in the top upper tiers like Malik Neighbors. Questions is like it's Kyler Murray throwing to him. I wonder if the person who chose this is a Cardinals fan because they have both Murray and Harrison. Harrison could get a lot more points if his offense is more consistent. So that's the question. Vikings really good. I think number 2, number 3 defense last year, something like that. I can't remember if there were any much changes, but so I mean solid defense. Boswell, he was like number 1 kicker and he was number 2 kicker just behind Brandon Aubrey out of the Dallas Cowboys. But the offense only got better. They got Aaron Rodgers instead of Russell Wilson at QB, and now DK Metcalf instead of George Pickens. Relatively about the same, but it's a better situation at QB, I think. So that bodes well for getting more field goal range for Chris Boswell. So yes, solid. I would say B. Of course, this is all just initial projection. Just because questions at QB, and we're not exactly sure thing on Adams is good, but he's like it'll be like an A minus just because we don't know what's gonna happen. A minus, B plus. But yeah, B mostly because of the QB situation with Kyler Murray. And Marvin Harrison again, yeah, except the flex, we don't really know, but solid team. I would say like B plus really. Who else we got? QB. And then of course after the initial rankings, I'll really put them like in perspective and then like see who I think is going to be top 10 or like the actual top, the ordering. Okay, so next one and team 2. Team 2, we have QB at Bo Nix. Again, these QBs can only pick what's selected with them. I mean, there's only 10 teams, so like top 10 QBs. And if they go with the top QB, does it sacrifice their depth? If they go with, let's say, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, how are they going to go with the running back or wide receiver later? So yeah, Bo Nix, here we go. Yeah, he overperformed last year. He was a rookie, but did really well. Noticeable about him is that he also get rushing points. Finished 8th, something like that, top 8, of course. Can he continue that? Most likely. Offense hasn't really changed much for this year. But yeah, it's a solid enough QB. Chase Brown, good selection, a sleeper pick, honestly. Often going lower in the 3rd round, can be upper 2nd, 1st. So he was number 2 behind this running back called Zach Moss last year. Zach Moss gets hurt, Chase Brown steps in. Now Chase Brown actually is averaging like some of the best points post injury. I don't have the exact stat, but he's on this team called the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bengals have one of the worst defenses. What causes that to happen is that the offense has to just keep scoring and moving the ball down the field to protect, because the only way they can just win is that they just have to score so many points the other team can't keep up. Fortunately for them, Chase Brown can catch the ball, so he gets points in this PPR league. So yeah, it's a sleeper pick, really good, I would think. Josh Jacobs, also good. Finished like I think top 6 running back for last year for the Green Bay Packers. Doesn't show much of slowing down, so solid 1-2 at running back. T. Higgins didn't play as much last year due to an injury, but he is the number 2, but he's still the number 1. He could still be like a number 1 on plenty of other teams. Both Chase Brown and T. Higgins, both of them Cincinnati Bengals on the team. Let's see. But yeah, solid receiver. Jefferson. Let's see. Justin Jefferson. Often rated as number 1, number 2 wide receiver. Number 2 recently, just because of Jamar Chase has just been doing so well. Justin Jefferson does average like the most yards per game, over 100 something. So he's done really well in the league ever since he's came in. So yeah, solid. Yeah, Jefferson, Higgins. Only question remains is Higgins, just because he is a number 2 receiver, but he just does well enough to really be a number 1. So let's see how his other positions are. Tucker Kraft, he's an okay tight end. I mean, he's good, but I mean, like, it's not like he's not like top of the line compared to the other tight ends. Been inconsistent in his career, so we don't know. But I mean, I would say like it's okay for the tight end spot. Mike Evans, okay. Evans, really good. He's average. I think he's gotten 1,000-yard total receiving yards each year he's been in the league. They actually threw the ball. They made sure to get the ball to him specifically on the last game last year, just so he could break the 1,000-yard mark, and the whole crowd erupted when they knew that the record was on the line. Yeah, really good receiver. He's getting a little bit up there, just a little bit older for a receiver, but still really solid. Will this be the year that his age starts to show? Because again, it took him till week 18 for him to finally break the 1,000-yard mark. But still solid. Defense, Seahawks. They've been on the down ever since. Seahawks defense is not the same Seahawks defense as the Legion of Boom. So I mean, I just put that as an okay defense. Jake Elliott, he's been inconsistent. He used to be pretty good, but he hasn't made as much as it was 2 years ago, I believe 2-3 years ago. He's the kicker for the Philadelphia Eagles. So yeah, his special teams and kicker, I mean, that's okay, and we don't know, question mark. We don't know exactly what's gonna happen with Kraft and Evans. So in this case, I'd rank it a little bit lower than the other team we just did. I would put it like at the B-. Justin Jefferson's still good, of course. Solid 1-2 running back. Just the question marks a little bit all over the place. C- really could be like a C+, somewhere around there. I guess I feel a little bit generous. I'll go with B-. Okay, team 3. Okay, who do we got? All right. Number 1 is Mahomes at QB. Gibbs, Henderson at running back. Wide receivers are AJ Brown. Let's see who else. Moore for Chicago. Moore. Bowers for tight end. Flex is going to be Travis Hunter. Defense is Steelers. And kicker is Bass. Okay, so initial thoughts. Mahomes, he's shown good signs in the preseason. He used to be he was a surefire upper tier quarterback. He even had like 2 MVPs in his young career, but he's kind of been on the downside. Well, downside for him in the last couple of seasons. He's been like in, let's say like an A tier, lower A tier QB. Maybe even upper B. But he's shown he's shown resurgence in preseason. So he could have potential, but right now, he's still not as good, not as playing as well as he was, but still solid. Gibbs, number 1 running back from last year. He's the lead back for the Detroit Lions. So I mean, yeah, really solid. Offenses show much of changing. They did lose the guy. So each team has the head coach. He's the main guy in charge of the whole team, and then they got the guy defensive coordinator and offensive coordinators, of course, in charge of both the defense and the offense, and they draw up how the play is going to look. Now the Lions, who running back Gibbs is for, they lost their offensive coordinator, guy who comes up with the plays. So who knows if the offense will be as good, but I mean, even if it is like a drop off from last year, it's still a drop off from the number 1 spot. So it's still solid standing. Trevion Henderson, question mark, because he's a rookie, but huge upside. Played with Ohio State last year, has the speed, can hold on, can still break tackles even for even though he's not the biggest running back, can still strong enough to fend off tackles, and can honestly make any play a home run play. So is a question mark, but like huge potential. AJ Brown, solid receiver out of Philadelphia Eagles. He got hurt, didn't play as many games last year, but when he's on the field, is still there like 6th or 7th wide receiver. My question is Moore out of Chicago. He was the number 1. He was the number 1 when he was with Carolina Panthers. I can't remember if he went to the Chicago Bears in the offseason or not. If he was either went to free agency or was traded to them, but he did really good. He did solid last year. 2 years ago, I actually believe he finished 7th for wide receivers. He didn't do as well last year. Was it the fluke? Was he was doing well? Was it the fluke he was doing bad? Is it the QB? His rookie QB was throwing to him? Is it the offense or just the team? The team is just not really being run well right now. So it's a question about who remain. The one thing that's kind of seems like a consensus is that they got this another younger receiver named Romeo Dunze, who most believe he'll be like the number 1 by the end of the year. Not to mention the Chicago Bears drafted this receiver named Luther Burden, who also is out of Missouri, who also shown good potential. So Moore is number 1 right now, but who knows what that'll be like at the end of the year. So it's a little bit question mark around them. Brock Bowers, undisputed number 1 tight end. Absolutely killed it as a rookie last year. Even though he's a tight end, it's also the number 1 target for Geno Smith throwing to him for the Raiders this year. Yeah, if you manage to get him, you're always winning the tight end matchup that year or that week. Travis Hunter, this is a guy that is a bit of a question mark just because he does play defense and offense and defense. So question is, how much will they save him? Like if he plays offense, or defense, how much will they play both on offense just because they don't want to risk him getting hurt if he's always on the field with the NFL level tackles. So there's a lot bigger, a lot stronger players, and you don't get the points for the defense. I mean, if he gets an interception, sure, but he doesn't get points for blocks or like passes not thrown to him. So good potential for receivers. He's a solid receiver whenever he plays, but the question is, how is he going to play? Question mark there. Steelers solid defense, top 4, top 5. They only improved this year. They got Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay. Guys are a little bit past their prime, but still solid. They lost Mika Fitzpatrick in the trade, but they got enough around him. Not to mention, last year they played with this guy named Russell Wilson. Their offense didn't do so well. They lost like seven games or something. So defense is always on the field. which means, of course, more opportunities for them to give up points. So the offense is better, and they got better running or better defensive players, so they seem to be improving this year. So yeah, top four, something like that. Tyler Bass, kicker for Bills. He missed a couple kicks. Some big ones. It was a thing, because it's either at the end of last year or beginning of this year, he made some big kicks finally, and it was like a weight lifted off his shoulders. So like the whole team celebrated around him. But of course, still questions at him. He's not as good as consistent as he used to be, but still solid. Overall, given how it's a question at DJ Moore and Travis Hunter, and we don't know if Mahomes is going to be as good as he used to be, I would say B for this team. B minus, B plus. Let's see. Alright, the fourth team. Okay. We got Hurts. Barkley. I wonder if this person's an Eagles fan. Maybe. It's also just a solid pick so far. Cook. Lamb. Smith and Jigba. Andrews. McMillan. Cardinals. And Dicker the kicker. Now, initial impression, a good team, I would say. Jalen Hurts, number 4 QB. He had like 14 rushing touchdowns last year. A lot of them interesting from the 1 yard line. They got behind the offensive and defensive line, or in the offensive line, and all the players surrounded, like huddled together, and they just hiked it to the ball to him, and they pushed him in. And running back who lined up right behind him and pushed him, Jalen Hurts in. Jalen Hurts was known in college because he could squat like the level of like offensive lineman, which is like really impressive for a QB. Anyways, the push that of them getting into the end zone or trying to make the first down from the fourth down, the way it's formed, they call it the tush push, or sometimes in Philadelphia, the brotherly shove, named after the city of brotherly love from Philadelphia. Philos meaning brotherly love. 3 types of love: agapos, philos, and I forget the third one. But yeah, philos from Philadelphia. So it hurts. Yeah, solid QB, like upper tier. Barkley, offensive player last year. Honestly, could have broken the record for rushing yards in the season, but they rested him because he was like their number 1 player. So they made sure they didn't play him the last season because they'd already like secured their spot in the playoffs, and they, of course, they want him getting hurt for that. Of course, it panned out. They won the Super Bowl and got so I mean that was the priority number 1. But Barkley, yeah, number 1 player, just recently got voted NFL top 100. So really solid 1-2 right there. James Cook also did really well out of Buffalo. There were little questions about him because he didn't return to the team. His contract was ending, and they didn't know if he wanted to get paid, but they didn't know if he was going to pay him. Sometimes these kind of disputes can lead to bad chemistry. A lot of times, though, really they don't. It just depends on the player. So yeah, Barkley and Cook there, solid. Lamb finishes number 1 in points 2 years ago. His QB though got hurt, Dak Prescott, last year, so he didn't really perform as well. But that's because the offense around him. Still solid though, and a lot of potential. Often goes as number 2, number 3 receiver in drafts. Smith and Jigba also good. A little bit questioned because it's Sam Darnold throwing the ball to him. Sam Darnold did well last year, and Justin Jefferson, the receiver, still. I mean, if there's any questions, Justin Jefferson still finished second, I believe, in receivers. A little bit of questions though because the Vikings had their offense already made. It was already a solid offense. Meanwhile, the Seattle Seahawks don't really have that. So is Sam Darnold the kind of quarterback who can elevate a team, or can he like really just manage the team? So that's a little bit of a question. But Smith and Jigba still has a lot of the talent. Andrews, top 5 tight end a couple years ago, got hurt though. Took him a while to get back into form, though finally did get back into form for the Baltimore Ravens. So still solid overall, I would say. I believe, I'm sorry if I butchered his name. I believe it's Tetaro. Let me see. It is Tetairoa McMillan, out of Arizona. He's a rookie, but he got selected like 8th overall from Carolina Panthers. He's still, for a flex, that's a solid pick. just for the potential they have in him. Of course, remains to be seen because he's never played in the NFL. But as a flex player to have is pretty solid. My main question here is the Cardinals defense. I can't remember how well they did. Not one of the best defenses that I can recall. I would say that's their worst position. But considering all the other parts, Dicker the kicker is still one of the top tier kickers. I would say this would be like an excuse me, A minus. Just because I mean it's still solid. I wonder if some of my bias is because I just been giving B's so far and no A's yet. But Hurts and Barkley, great combo right there. You got Cook, you got Lamb and Smith and Jigba. So like top receivers there. Andrews. So my only questions, yeah, I mean A minus. So yeah, just because we don't know how McMillan is going to do, and Cardinals are an okay. Andrews is solid enough that I don't think he's going to regress, and Dicker of course. So I mean, main questions are just McMillan and Cardinals. But really solid team I would say, especially this core right here. So A minus for that. Who's next? All right, Jackson. Kyron. D. Smith. Let me just put Smith. Wilson. I didn't know where to put D. Smith or Smith because Smith is such a common name, but I mean, I'll just leave it there. Let's see. Kittle. Hawkinson. Broncos. And Bates. Okay, so Lamar Jackson, number 1 QB last year. Let's see. Funny enough, Josh Allen gets rated number 1, but Lamar Jackson has. So I believe. Let me see. Passing and rushing. So, yeah, Josh Allen had, I believe, like 10 more passing touchdowns. No. He had 10 more rushing touchdowns, but Lamar Jackson had 13 more rushing or passing touchdowns, which is funny because Lamar Jackson is normally known as the one who runs more. Anyways, I believe Lamar actually had like the second or third most fantasy points last year in the history of fantasy football. So yeah, and he doesn't show any signs of regressing. He got this running back for his team called Derrick Henry, who's also a really good running back. And what causes the defense is they don't know which way they're going to go. Are they going to go? Do they have to protect against the QB or the running back? So it just opens up the game a lot more for him. McCaffrey, biggest wild card there is. This guy can he has like the second most points. So he has the third most in history and the second most on his team. Number 1 is in 2006 by his player LaDainian Tomlinson. Just had an absolute amazing year, both catching and receiving touchdowns. But anyways, McCaffrey, he can either be the best player in the league or not play at all. So like 2 years ago he had like the number 2 overall season ever, but then last year he didn't play until like week 12 and then only played 3 weeks before getting hurt. And so it's a boom or bust player. And this year they got this player named he played for the 49ers, and they got this player named Brian Robinson that they traded from the Commanders. So they have now they have 2 solid backup running backs in Brian Robinson and another guy named Isaac Guerrero. But I wonder if they're just going to be a little bit more cautious with McCaffrey just for how many seasons he's been getting hurt. Also, his offense doesn't really be seeming to be doing as good. They lost a lot of players from 2 years ago. So he can be A plus or he could not even show up. So it's a big question around him. Kyron Williams, number 7th or something like that, I think last year for running backs. He's not projected somehow really well because I just think he's going to drop off. But I mean, he shows no signs of dropping off. He's really only been improving each year. So I would say solid. Smith, he's the number 2 out of the Philadelphia Eagles behind AJ Brown, but he does solid enough that he could be like a number 1 on a lot of other teams. Um, so yeah, solid, like a lower A, upper B, lower A, I would say. For him, Wilson, was that it? Garrett Wilson. It's a question mark. He's a great receiver. It's just he has Justin Fields throwing to him, and offenses that typically have Justin Fields throwing them run the ball a lot more. They're like number 2 or 3 in rushing, rushing attempts compared to receiving attempts. So like, how often is he going to get the ball? And last year Justin Fields was throwing to George Pickens, but George Pickens didn't get as much targets and points until, of course, Russell Wilson came in. So like, question is like, how is Wilson going to do with Justin Fields throwing the ball to him? Next, Kittle, number 3 tight end. He's always going to be, no matter what's going on with the offense situation with the 49ers, which he's on, he's always going to get his targets. So he's always going to be an upper A tier. Okay, so he got another another tight end as his flex. That's risky. It depends on whether you're going with your wide receivers, like where you pick your flex. But typically, I mean, you have to be an upper, but I would have preferred a running back or a wide receiver in that position. It's hard to count on for a tight end to consistently be at the level of a flex, but solid if you have like 2 top end tight ends. Broncos, number 1 defense from last year, I believe. Doesn't really show much signs of changing. So yeah, high end, good pick. Jake Bates, also really good kicker. Excuse me, sorry, voice getting hoarse. So, overall, what do I rate this? McCaffrey and Wilson are a question mark, and Hawkinson as a flex, I would have rather put a wide receiver or running back. So I would put this at a B plus. Just because it's a B plus, not lower, just because of course he has Lamar Jackson on his team. McCaffrey, it averages out to still be a good potential with what he can do. Kyron Williams is top tier. Smith, Kittle, best tight ends you can get. Broncos, so those areas are covered. Maybe B plus or B. Let me see. Yeah, I think B, just because there's too many questions at McCaffrey and Wilson, and yeah, Hawkinson as a flex. Okay. Next team. Who do we have next? Okay. Let me see. All right. Let's see. We have Hampton, Chase, Worthy, Lapo, Laprata, Laporta, Thomas. How do you clarify that? Ryan, Thomas, Texans, and okay, so reach, I think, with the QB. Of course, he could be great. He's on that Vikings offense as like the tailor-made offense already, but it's his first real year starting the league, so who knows how he's gonna do. His scientists are saying that he hasn't really shown that high potential he has in this preseason as he was last year. So yeah, question there. A-Chain, though, really solid. His quarterback often gets concussed, sadly. His quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has been concussed each of the last 2 seasons. One time he even got concussed like just 3 weeks apart. So the receivers don't his receivers has always been inconsistent production just because of QB, but it seems as though it hasn't affected the running game as much because Achane still done really solid. Now he is hurt, but it doesn't really seem to be affecting him as much from the start this season. Martin Hampton is also projected to do really well. He's a running back out of UNC in North Carolina. Tall, big guy, 6'2", 6'3", something like that. 220 pounds. I can't remember exactly, but he has the passing enough speed for a guy that size, and he's going to be playing on this team called the Los Angeles Chargers, who have a run heavy offense compared to a wide receiving offense. I think they run first, yeah. And Hampton's going to be the number one guy on that running offense, so it bodes well for him. Jamar Chase, receiver from Cincinnati Bengals. He won last year what's called a triple crown, which means he led the league in receptions, which is catches, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. It was done before by Cooper Kupp for the Rams, and then Jamar Chase. But Jamar Chase finished like head and shoulders above any other wide receiver. Clear A+ tier selection with that. Xavier Worthy, solid receiver, his second year. Now for the Kansas City Chiefs. The other guy competing for him for targets, Rashee Rice, will be suspended for the first 6 weeks. So it looks like more targets for him the first 6 weeks. Questions how will he be able to improve? Last year, he wouldn't get as many catches per game, but he would make them count. Sometimes you get like 3 catches, but he like one of those would be a touchdown or like a 50-yard touchdown, something like that. So solid potential. Just like question like can he improve to like an A+ tier? Laporta is a tight end I believe I mentioned before from Detroit Lions. Was really solid 2 years ago, but he hasn't really shown that upper level that he did last year. But he's still going to be on the Detroit. Who knows what's going to happen with that offense now that they have a new offensive coordinator. I forgot his name. Their old offensive coordinator is Ben Johnson. He's now the head coach for the Chicago Bears. But still solid enough. Brian Thomas, really good receiver. Now it's only as a rookie too last year from LSU. Signs are pointing just to him even improving. And if he can get help with Travis Hunter being more on the field, it's tricky. Sometimes the wide receivers having more competition there can either like fantasy wise, it can open up the game because like they'll get more targets, or sometimes like the defenses, if the other receiver isn't there, it makes the defense cover the number one even more, so they get even less points. So it's tricky. But signs are pointing towards Brian Thomas only improving this year. So I wonder if I need to get water. I'll be back. Sorry, how to morph out of existence there. Need some water. Glug glug. Okay. So yeah, there's that was Brian Thomas. So yeah, honestly, solid pick I would say as the flex. Much better than having Hawkinson, I think, at that position. So Texans, top 5 defense last year, not much change, so that's good. Loop, also solid. He's replacing his Hall of Famer Justin Tucker because he actually had like a lot of allegations against him. So Loop is coming in as a rookie, but shows he's shown really good in the preseason. Man, I would say it's a solid team. It's just you have McCarthy there at QB. So, like, who knows what's going to go on with that situation. But just because of the strain from the other team, I think it would be, I would say either B+ or A-. That's just a question there because of McCarthy. Everything else is really solid. It's just McCarthy there at QB. You know what? Considering all the checkmarks he reached, when I asked like of the other teams, like with this one right here, I would just have to say I would give him the A-. right? Let's see. Who do we have? Burrow. Collins, McLaurin, Ingram, Flex, Judy, Bears. Okay. Bucker, that's the kicker. Okay, so Burrow, number 5 QB in the NFL. Right behind the running QB sits like him right there. So it's a solid QB there. Upper A. James Conner is not a name that's really like that pops off the screen, but yeah, he's always done like in like the second tier of running backs. He's a consistent performer. Funny enough, even though the offense is inconsistent with the passing game, it's always been good with the running game with him. Henry, number 4 running back. Let me see. Yeah. It's funny. He wasn't projected high last year, and he was projected like 9th or 10th, and which is low for him, but he still finished like 4th last year in points. He's on the same team as Lamar Jackson, so it confuses the defenses because they don't know which way he's going to go. And this guy is like 6'3", 230, and yet somehow it's like the fastest guy when he's running. He always looks like the fastest guy. It's incredible. Like, how can a guy that size be that fast? But yeah, he is in any game, any play, can take it to the house. So yeah, solid running backs and QBs right there. Nico Collins, also really good. Question is though, he gets hurt quite a few times. Like last year, he got hurt. I believe he was out for the season. I think he got hurt the year prior to that. But when he's on the field, he averages so many points. It's it's upper tier wide receiver. So I mean, if he can actually stay on the field, yeah, great receiver. McLaurin too. He's not projected well this year, but it's like top 6 receiver, something like that. Last year, he held out on his contract with the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders, but yet they managed to get that contract signed, and it looks like all of that's been put in the past now. So, and he's off. The QB throwing to him was a rookie, Jaden Daniels, and they only seem to improve the offense. I don't really see signs of him slowing down. So, solid core, I would say, all around right here. Ingram, tight end. He's the one I mentioned before. Out of he's the tight end. He's the Denver Broncos, but he's the one with the head coach Sean Payton that does really well with tight ends. So it's a good sign. He had a regression last year, with the Jaguars, but it's really good potential for him this year. In fact, what he does so well for the Jaguars is that they say that they pay him wide receiver money, and that they label him a tight end specifically so they don't have to pay him wide receiver money. So, but that's how solid he is at that position. Judy really did well last year. This breakout year finally last year, but he has a question mark at QB. Joe Flacco, 40-something years old, can be throwing to him. Who knows? It'll even be Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders by the season. So who knows how well he'll do? But because he's the flex position, it's not as much of a worry, not as worrisome. Because like if you can get that out of your flex, like compared like to last year, like the floor and ceiling, it's really solid for that position. Bears. A little bit more of a question there with the defense. Not really readable. I can't remember if they're in like the middle or slightly below middle, but not exactly a standout. Bucker though is really solid. He's a kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. So overall, honestly, that core is really strong. And Judy might not be as good as this year, but that's at a flex position. Bucker, I would give this like an A. My only downside would just be that defense. Because I don't know how well that's going to do. Alright. Yeah, just wrapping this up. My voice is getting hoarse. Got 3 more teams. Alright. Daniels. Ford. Genty. Ridley. Sutton. McBride. Same. Brown. Giants. Left. First off, it's weird how he positioned his team. Amon-Ra St. Brown is like number 3, number 4. Wide receiver finished like number 4, I believe, last year. No, wait, number 3 last year, yeah. But he has him listed as his flex instead of his wide receiver position. But anyways, yeah, a great pick right there. As well as Jaden Daniels, he's one of the running QBs, number 4 QB. Wait, number 3. I would say ahead of Jalen Hurts. So yeah, solid right there. Biggest question though, huge question though, having Jerome Ford as your running back. Does he? Let me check his bench just because. No, that's all right. Yeah, Jerome Ford. They don't even know he's on the Browns offense, and the Browns is a huge question. It might be worst team in the league this year, and they drafted like 2 running backs, Dylan Sampson and Quinshon Judkins. So Ford might not even be the starter on his offense by mid-season, and he's a starting running back. So it's a big question mark there. Genty though, rookie, he's really good. As he says, he showed in college football, was selected like 6th overall this year by the Las Vegas Raiders, and broke so many records last year as a running back. Yeah, he's like ranked like the number 6 running back, but solid there. Calvin Ridley, solid, but for like a starting, well, you got to take into account Amon-Ra St. Brown's the receiver, so it really goes Brown, Sutton, and then Ridley. But if that's taking that into consideration, let's say he's a flex. Yes, solid flex. Because he's the number 1 for the Tennessee Titans, so he's going to be getting a lot of targets this year. So having that as like a flex position, yeah, it's good to have. Courtland Sutton, not a name that jumps off the board, but still did really well. Top 15 wide receiver last year. Denver Broncos, that's the team he's on. But yeah, doesn't really show much sign of changing for his team. But he has St. Brown and then Sutton, Ridley. He has a good receiving core. Giants still is a huge question mark. They're like one of the worst offenses, honestly. So I wonder if this person's just like a Giants fan. I can't remember where they are, but they're not ranked really well. McLaughlin is one of the best kickers, but just because of Giants defense and the big question mark at Jerome Ford, this has to be like I would say B-, but I think this team's much better right here. So I would give this team a C+. Just for having Ford there. Alright, 2 more teams. My voice. Allen. Pacheco. Walker. Conky. Nakua. Okay, so pretty good team, I would say actually. Josh Allen, number 2 QB. Enough that he had like last year. So I think like in the 25 fantasy points, like the top 25 seasons ever held in fantasy, Josh Allen has like 4 of them. And last year he had like 40-point game, like a 50-point. He had like the second, like a top 5 point game ever, maybe top 3. I think most by a QB ever. It was some kind of ridiculous stat, but yeah. So that's solid QB there. Running back Pacheco, he did get hurt last year, but when he was playing like 2 years ago, before he was playing, he's upper 2, lower 1 running back, I would say. So solid enough. Kenneth Walker, though, also known for injury, so his running backs have injury history. Walker is known like to miss a couple of games. A little bit inconsistent, but solid whenever he can perform. McConkey did well. He's a rookie last year, and yet still finished really solid. He is going to be on the run-heavy offense, and this year they're bringing in a veteran receiver in Keenan Allen, the Los Angeles Chargers. But yeah, I would say he's a solid wide receiver. Nakua is really good. He's like a top 5 receiver. He did get hurt last year, and he missed quite a few games. But excuse me. But yeah, averaging like some of the most ever as a rookie receiver. When he first came in the league, had like record-breaking performance too as a rookie. Matthew Stafford should presumably start week 1, so doesn't look as much a change. Devontae Adams coming to his offense. Offense looks to be good. So yeah, solid. I would say solid so far. Goddard, a lot of injuries on this team. Goddard is solid when he does play, but he's known for his injury history, like he did last year and a couple years before. So his team is solid if they can stay on the field. Similar thing with Waddle. Waddle's a wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, but his QB is Tua, who often gets concussed. So inconsistent. Well, he can have a really good game and just we're not really one throwing to him. Eagles top 4 defense, and Brendan Aubrey, of course, is the best kicker. I would give this either a B plus or an A minus. There's just so many injury questions on this team, but it's solid all around. Let me see. The biggest questions, of course, the worst ones are not exactly worse, but just compared to the rest of the team. Pacheco, McConkey, and then Goddard with his injury history. Waddle with who knows how his QB situation. Just because, yeah, that's a big one because you don't know how the QB is going to go and injuries. Still, it's either an A minus or a B plus. Another talent level, of course, in the A range, but there's just so many injury questions. And just based off of the injuries, just taking that into regard, I'd have to give it a B plus. Alright. I really honestly can't rate mine just because there's so much bias involved. Of course, I'm just going to say everything good about it because that'll give you the reason why I selected them. You would, of course, if you were to actually rank mine, I would just give mine an A plus, which of course is biased, so I can't really say that. So I'm not going to really include them in the top 10. But I'll still give you my evaluation on them. Alright. Mayfield. Kamara. Taylor. Oh, look who I am. I can't really say anything about Jalen Waddle when I got Tyreek Hill. London. Metcalf. Ravens. And Little, I believe. Okay. So, yeah, again, Baker Mayfield finished 4th in QB last year. Offense only got better. Not really showing much signs of change for him, so I would say that was a good one. Kamara, so here's the thing. He finished well with points last year, but that was with Derek Carr throwing to him, taking into account at the beginning of the season. Derek Carr got hurt, then retired from the NFL. Kamara did have a 44-point game, but that was with Carr when he was still the QB. So who knows what's going to happen? Last year the QB situation wasn't really good, but luckily Kamara's a running back, and he can still catch passes. But this year they're going to have a similar QB situation. So who knows how that'll play out? But he still finished like 7th or something like that. Either averaging 7th or 7th overall. So solid. Taylor, they have him ranked high. His last games of the season, he totaled like 44 points, then 30 or 25, and then 20. So he did really well to finish the season. His QB situation is more solid this year. They had like a revolving door last year with Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco. This year they're going with Daniel Jones. His upside isn't that high as Richardson, but he's more consistent. So that bodes well for the offense, especially the receivers. Tyreek Hill has a lot of potential, but Tua gets hurt. And secondly, Hill's not satisfied with his position on the team because they haven't been doing as well. Hill used to play wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, was doing great there. They always made the postseason and won the Super Bowl one year. Gets traded to Miami Dolphins, and then goes to a worse offensive situation, doesn't have as much postseason success. And meanwhile, Kansas City Chiefs have won the Super Bowl like twice while he's been gone. Of course, he's been unhappy with the team. So for the first time in his Miami career, he wasn't named the captain of the team. So both, like, how is he going to do with that offense? So yeah, a couple of questions surrounding him. Drake London shows a lot of potential, especially with Michael Penix only improving. So there's a lot of big game. It's like Drake London and Terry McLaurin, like right there next to each other in points. So that's good. Warren has a lot of potential, but he is a rookie. So you don't know how well he's going to do, but his ceiling is really high. Broke all kinds of records last year as a rookie tight end. Metcalf, I would say, is solid for a flex. Just because, yeah, again, this is like a third wide receiver position. So, I mean, out of production is going to get for him. He is like a lower end 2, upper 3. So, I mean, for flex, yeah, I'd say it's solid there. Ravens are a top 5 defense in little. I think he's a rookie. No, it's his second year. But kicker doesn't really matter as much because there's not as many point difference between the kicker. So biggest questions here are, of course, Warren, because he's a rookie. Hill, because he's they don't know what's gonna happen with his offensive situation, and Kamara because he has a rookie QB throwing to him. So that, trying to eliminate my bias, that if that's even possible, I would give this an A or an A minus. I would say, like, if I somehow could have gotten McLaurin instead of Hill and Ingram instead of Warren, I would give this an A plus. But it's too many questions there around the roster. So do I give this an A or an A minus? With my bias, I give it an A. So yeah, so those are the final rankings. I don't really have names for the teams, so it's hard to put them in, like, to name them. But I guess I would finish, because there's no names. It's hard to see, like, I actually rank them for these teams. But let me see. So A, who else got an A? A, C plus. So we got 2 A's, an A minus, another A minus. So we got what's it, 2 A's, 2 A minuses. So no A pluses. Okay. Let me see, B plus. Let me see. Yeah, 1 A. Oh, I gotta watch out for that. Okay, so yeah. So let's see. B plus, B minus, B, A minus, A minus, A, B plus, A. So there's only 4 A's. Where there's 6 B's, 1 B. Oh, there's a C plus. 1 B plus, C plus, B, B, B. Yeah, only 4 A's. 2 A's and 2 A minuses. So top 4, I guess, semis at least, I would rank. We can do this season. The only other A is this one. Joe Burrow Let's see, James Conner, Derrick Henry, Nico Collins, McLaurin, Ingram, Judy. Honestly, I rate this one ahead of mine. So yeah, I rate mine second. This one first. The only question on this team is the Bears, but it's so solid all around. With mine a question mark, yeah, I would say this person as the best team so far. But we can do well. All right. So that's my projection so far. I'm second, but top four, we can do well. And then I'll have graphics posted. Hopefully, get better with technology, so I can have like a better graphic showing the teams, and I'll keep points updated with projections how each team is doing. So yeah, this is a good thing for the time capsule. See how I do with technology, the Jank mock draft that we did here. But yeah, so that was the draft for this year for 2025, and yeah, I'll do like a little bit of weekly updates I think, and then like every 4 weeks like a little bit of a major update. Yeah, so that was the 2025 Jank mock draft. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Should you be doing your own drafts, I wish you all success. Have a great fall season, and can't wait for the season to start. So thanks everyone, and I hope you have a nice day and a better tomorrow. Okay.